Feeling the need to take a break and do absolutely nothing? Then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Supraja. I'm a modern mom of a 6-year-old and I work a full-time job. Like many of you, my days are full. I'm constantly juggling with deadlines, parenting, and running a home, and still trying to make space for my personal goals. And yet, by the end of most days, I feel like the most important things on my priority list are still unfinished. By evening, the exhaustion would hit. Around 8 p.m., I would be completely zoned out, sitting on the couch, mindlessly scrolling through my phone, and too tired to think, too drained to do anything else. Does this sound familiar? If it does, you're not alone. You're likely a modern mom who's constantly multitasking, trying to do everything, and slowly slipping into burnout without even realizing it. For the longest time, I thought the problem was sleep. I kept telling myself I wasn't resting enough, but the truth was, even on days when I slept for 8 hours or more, I would wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, already overwhelmed by the thought of the day, and just wished that I didn't have to do anything. I found myself zoning out often, experiencing mental fatigue, and quietly wishing that the day I went ahead smoothly without much work. In this video, let's dig deeper why we modern moms are always so tired and why it has nothing to do with lack of discipline or laziness. This is part 2 of why modern moms are always tired. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend it. It covers a few simple steps that can help ease everyday exhaustion. In today's video, we will look at how burnout actually affects us, mentally and emotionally, and how we can begin stepping out of that burnout zone towards a calmer, more intentional way of living. We will also talk about what burnout really is, and I'll share a few mindset shifts that truly helped me start coming out of that burnout zone. So if you've been constantly tired, mentally drained, or would you like to need to take a pause from everything, then stay with me. This conversation might be exactly what you need today. Let's first understand a bit more about burnout. While we have established it's not laziness, it's also not a motivation problem. It's your nervous system giving you cues that it's been stuck in survival mode for too long. When your body doesn't feel safe, enough rest, or even sleep won't restore. Why just rest more doesn't work. You can't rest your way out of burnout if your system is still on high alert. Scrolling, binge watching, or collapsing into bed doesn't calm your nervous system. Look for regulation, which helps you recover, and don't just ignore the burnout. So how do we start this recovery? 1. Lower the internal pressure. We moms often carry incredible high standards for ourselves, and when we don't meet them, we immediately slip into self-criticism. I noticed that pattern in myself too. So instead of pushing myself harder, I changed into how I spoke to myself. The first thing I started doing was simply acknowledging when I was entering into that self-criticism mode. I would pause and tell myself, okay, this is self-criticism talking, not the truth. Let's move on. Then consciously shifted towards the narrative. Instead of focusing on what I didn't do, I focused and acknowledged what I did in terms of the work I needed to achieve, and no matter how small, I recognized that. I also became more realistic with the high standards I was setting myself. So, I'm not lowering my standards here, I'm making more human ones. This took me a while to really tune into, and even now, I do slip back and into that mode sometimes where I'm criticizing myself, but that's okay. Change doesn't happen overnight, it happens through gentle repetition. What matters isn't perfection, it's more about consistency. So give yourself some time, be patient with the process, it really works. And remember, each time you notice the pattern, choose a kinder response for yourself. You're already making progress. Consistency, not self-criticism, is what creates a lasting change. 2. Before fixing anything, create safety. I've spoken about this in my first video as well. This is the most important step. Your body needs to feel safe to come out of that burnout zone. You can send some simple signals of safety, such as slow breathing with long exhales. Simple mindful breathing also helps. Try it out and let me know. Warm showers or sitting quietly without stimulation, meditating, doing some gardening, connecting with nature, making yourself a cup of tea or coffee and sipping it without watching your phone or doing any other task. These simple acts are your repair tools to move out of that burnout zone. Remove that one energy drain. Recovery doesn't start with adding habits, it starts with removing one unnecessary drain. What did I do? I reduced some binge watching because I realized I was doing a lot of it. I would sit at the end of the day and sit and watch hours together of OTT content. I'm pretty sure we all moms tend to go into that zone. What I did was I reduced that time. I tried to time it to 40 minutes and then I would switch it off by 9 p.m. This helped. This is a key example of less is medicine. 4. Rest in ways that actually restore. While this might sound boring at first, and that's because your mind isn't used to that silence, the stillness and silence helps your mind to move into a space that helps, which also helps you to keep your mom's guilt at bay. Yes, that's something we moms are quite familiar about, and watch out for my upcoming videos on that. 5. Ask for support without justifying it. Heard that phrase, it takes a village to raise a child? You don't need to prove you're exhausted enough to deserve help. Support is not failure, it's part of sustainability. Strong mothers don't do everything all the time and alone. They build a support system around them. So seek support where required. Don't try to do it all by yourself. Remember, recovery is not a quick fix. Burnout recovery is not a 7-day reset that you can do. It's a gradual return to yourself. Small changes done consistently matter more than dramatic ones. Remember, you are allowed to slow down and recover. If this helped, stay with the Calm Mom Project. This is a space for mothers who want peace and not perfection. See you in the next one.